How do a crayon and two lions have anything to do with how you live your life? A crayon and two lions. How could they possibly have anything to do with how any of us live our lives? Now, there's an answer to that question, and we're going to get to it together in just a second. But first, I want to ask, what makes one person more relatable than another person? I started asking this question after some discussions with my high school students regarding teachers that they liked and teachers that they didn't like, teachers that they related to and teachers they were not able to relate to. And they told me, they gave me an answer. They told me why. And the reason why this matters for all of us is, as Dr. Brené Brown, the famous researcher storyteller from Houston, says in one of the most watched videos online, she said there's a very specific reason why we are here. That reason is connection. Human connection is why we're here. I couldn't agree with her more, so I thought, okay, if connection is why we're here, then how do we establish it? And data suggests that connection is established when two people are relatable, when they can relate one with another. So then the next question becomes, well, what makes us relatable? So going back to the discussion with my students, I asked them, why are you able to relate with some teachers but not able to relate to others? And they said, Coach G, it's real simple. We want one thing. We want people to be real. We want people to be authentic. I said, okay, but what does that mean? What does that look like? They said two things. In addition to bringing their own personality and their own flavor to the classroom, we want them to be willing to admit mistakes and willing to share faults. I said, okay, but why does that matter to you? They said, and this is the key, because it shows us that they are human. I said, understand. So that discussion led to this question, and I want to ask all of you, do you hide or suppress parts of who you are in certain situations? Do you ever hide or suppress parts of who you are in certain situations? Now, the overwhelming majority respond yes to this question. And the reality is, we all do it. Everybody does this. Even people who will look you in the eye, they say, I don't give a damn what you think, have to tell you they don't give a damn what you think because they give a damn what you think. It's the craziest thing. But why? Why do we do this? If connection is why we're here, and connection is established via relatability, why do we hide the very parts of who we are that make us relatable? And the answer is because we don't think that people can see past our blemishes to see our beauty. We don't think people can see past our mistakes and our shortcomings to see the value that we can add. But ladies and gentlemen, nothing could be further from the truth. And to illustrate, I want to share a little experiment that I did. Last year, I asked one of my students, creative artist, I asked her to draw a picture of a lion for me, and then to color it. She drew it, colored it, brought it back to me, and it looked awesome. I said, okay, now can you do me this favor? Draw the same exact lion, but this time, I want you to color it with this box of crayons. And I gave her a box of crayons that had smashed corners, bent edges. It was ripped. The top was being held together by tape. The crayons themselves were chipped, broken. Some of them were flat on both ends. They were snapped in half. They were missing their sleeves. This was a broken, blemished, imperfect box of crayons. I said, can you color the second picture with this box of crayons? She said, absolutely. She colored it, brought it back to me. I put them side by side in no particular order, and this is the result. So I've got a question for you. First, which one do you like better? You like the left or the right? Some people say left. Oh, she said right. She likes the right one better. Somebody said left. I like the one on the left. It seems a little bit more detailed. The blues pop a little bit more. But I like the one on the right because it seems a little bit more full. The reds and the browns are a bit stronger. But we can all agree that there is beauty in both of them, and both of them add to the slide. But what if I would have said, one of these pictures was colored with a box of crayons, that was really broken and blemished and imperfect. Matter of fact, we're not going to color the second picture because the crayons are a little too broken. They're a little too imperfect. They're a little too blemished. We're going to keep this box of crayons on the shelf. There would literally be half as much beauty on the slide if we kept that box of crayons on the shelf because of imperfection. So what about you? What about us? What about all of us? How many of us live our lives on the shelf, so to speak, because we think we're a little too broken, we're a little too blemished, we're not quite perfect enough, so we stay on the shelf? There would be that much less beauty because of it. There would be that much less value added because of it. Ladies and gentlemen, people do not relate with you because you are perfect. People relate with you because you make mistakes, but they are inspired by you because you overcome those mistakes. So what I am asking you to do, I am asking all of you to do, is to be you authentically, to be you unapologetically. As Dr. Holly Hancock says, I am asking you that you be you bravely. I'm asking that you embrace every part of who you were because that's what makes you who you are, and who you are is somebody that somebody needs. Ladies and gentlemen, now is the time for you, for all of us, to understand that you are not beautiful despite your imperfections. You are beautiful because of them.